Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Sunday, August 13th, 2023. Real close to the halfway point of the month of August. We got a few birthdays, a few events to talk about really quickly today, and then we'll let you go back to watching the Verizon 200 at Indianapolis. So, first on our events list, all the way back in 1982, Morgan Shepherd wins the first then Budweiser Late Model Sportsman, now Xfinity Series race at Indianapolis Raceway Park, or whatever they're calling it now. I think it's Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park is what the correct title name is. 1989 on this date, Rusty Wallace wins his second race at Watkins Glen. Jeff Bodine had a brutal crash in the closing laps, caught on his in-car camera when he had a tire go down. It was the same track that J.D. McDuffie would eventually lose his life in. Tommy Kendall would break his legs in a sports car crash. A couple other pretty hard impacts in that corner as well. And it was that hairpin again at the end of the long back straightaway. Frequently cars would lose their brakes or cut a tire, in this case like Jeff did, and usually nosed head-on into that tire barrier / Armco style barrier that they had there. Our final event of, like I say, I'll go down these lists, and just finding things some days is really hard, but in 2005 at Nashville in the Truck Series, David Rudiman would win his first and only career Truck Series win. Of course, he's got one Xfinity and 2 Cup Series wins to his credit as well. So for birthdays, got a pretty important one today. Born on this date in 1916, but passed away in 2000. The winner of the first now Cup Series race, Mr. Jim Roper. Also born on this date in 1955, made a couple Cup starts in the early 2000s, Hideo Fukuyama. Of course, he did make a couple starts for Travis Carter. I think that's who he made all his. I think he made a total of 4 starts. I didn't look to see who the owners were, but I do know he made 2 starts for Travis Carter in the 66 car after the Kmart bankruptcy deal. Born on this date in 1973 and sadly passed away because of a racing incident in 2007. Former NHRA driver Eric Medlen. Of course, he was racing for John Force's team. I don't remember what the actual... They were talking about tire shake and just this violent impact. I really don't remember hearing much about it, but this was kind of a rough stretch for NHRA during that time. So I'm glad that they have improved a lot of things, especially at the far end of the raceway after Scott Clutter's crash at Englishtown, New Jersey. I believe it was Englishtown, but nonetheless. And our final birthday that we actually have cards for, we're 3 minutes in, and you're actually going to see a few cards today. Born on this day in 1971, former IndyCar and Cup Series driver, Mr. Patrick Carpentier. And strangely, too, they have a rookie card logo on this one, but Trading Card Database doesn't list it as a rookie, but I'm going to count it as one. This one doesn't have the rookie logo, but they count it as one. So I've got these two. Do they have a picture of his car on the back? This one doesn't, but there you see the Gillette Evernham car. He did have a pole, excuse me, at New Hampshire. And here's the only other card I have of him going global. So there you kind of see the 10 Valvoline Charger. Good look at Patrick. And he was part of that spell in the mid-2000s, what they called the open wheel invasion, where he had Montoya, Franchitti, Danica Patrick, obviously Carpentier, Allmendinger. There was a lot of them coming in, Scott Speed. You had several drivers all at once from the open wheel series. And I think some of them were bringing a little sponsorship money. Some of them were it was just the trendy thing to do at the time. Kind of like right now, it seems like going internationally with the supercar guys like SVG and some of those other folks, we're starting to see them become more, bringing them in for more road races now, which they may transition them to ovals. SVG's wanting to come over here full time. We'll see what happens. But that was kind of the thing back in the early to mid 2000s. All the open wheel guys were starting to come in. Obviously, that's where Stewart and Gordon and Yaley and Leffler come from, as well as a few others. But this was more of the IndyCar F1 folks coming in because the eyes were on NASCAR. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Mailbag Monday, as we will continue our deep dive into these hero cards that I've acquired. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.